class this way, we have a couple of different goals. The number one thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help socialization, but I have a bigger goal of I would like your puppy to settle when you show them these specific environmental cues. I want you to go home and practice this too. So I'm going to grab my treats, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to put a little bit of a foot brake on the leash just so it's not maybe as likely, haha, just kidding, that Grizzly could jump on me. And I'm going to still hold on the leash. There are a bunch of, and then what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to talk about the environmental cues. If he, feet are on the ground, I'm going to feed him. And I want you guys to play along with me. Grab a bunch of tiny, tiny, tiny little treats, especially with Nikki, tiny, tiny, tiny. If your puppy is quiet, you can feed them on the mat. If they offer a sit, you cannot tell them what to do. I'm not letting you guys do that right now, and I have a reason for this. Because you did. You just don't know that you did. So Grizzly offered a sit, treat on the mat. He is quiet, treat on the mat. I'm going to raise my rate of reinforcement, meaning I'm going to feed him a little faster right now, because I would like him to have more success on the ground than he was having climbing up into my lap. He got no treats when he was climbing up into my lap, but boy, he likes to touch me. He thinks that is a huge reward. To him, he likes that. Puppy behind you, sorry. My brain was not working. I was trying to get words out, but it didn't work. Okay. The eventual verbal cue you are working on is settle. And settle tells your dog, not sit down, stay, but settle says, what you are communicating to your dog is, we're going to be here for a while. So you might as well relax. That's freaking awesome. You gotta sit and you gotta sit. I can't see Nikki, but I'm suspecting that she's sitting. Yeah. So with Grizzly, he's still very busy. This is one of the reasons I'm like, oh, let me show you what happens with the dog that's very, very busy. I'm not gonna hold off in these treats. I'm not gonna tell him what to do. I'm just gonna be like, oh my gosh, you're quiet. That's amazing. We're in a room with new people and new dogs and new sights and new sounds and new smells. You offer to sit. That's amazing. Holy smokes, the leash is loose. That's amazing. The reason I'm telling you guys not to say anything right now is what you're doing is you are letting your puppy learn about environmental cues. Cues could be verbal, they could be physical, they could be environmental. So a verbal cue would be me saying sit, the dog sits, he gets a treat. Environmental cues are, I'm sitting, there's a mat down, you're on a leash. We're going to be here for a while. In fact, dude, I'm going to drink a whole Starbucks coffee. I'm drinking like 32 ounces of caffeine to deal with you today. You're so cute. I say that with love. I need some caffeine to keep up with him. But then, like, the place I always start with puppies, especially in new spaces, are you quiet? That's rewardable. Is the leash loose? I could reinforce that. Are your forepaws on the floor? I could reinforce that. Are you looking at me? Oh my gosh. And all of a sudden, Grizzly is offering more sits than he is jumping on me. So what I did is I chose to ignore the thing that I didn't really like. We'll have to deal with the jumping later, maybe, because he really likes it, so we might have to help teach him what to do instead of jumping to get attention, but I already am. I'm like, hey, if you want my attention, if you want those treats, do anything else. But in this environment, asking for these puppies, baby dogs, I can't do sit down, stay. Now, we're going to do one more thing really quick, and then we're going to move on to a moving game, because this is a long time for puppies. If your puppy is sitting, you're going to go 1, treat, 1, 2, treat, 1, 2, 3, treat. Now, if all of a sudden they pop up, that's fine. You can go back to rewarding quiet, looking at you, loose leash, forepaws on the floor. But if you can start adding duration, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm now taking you into socializing your puppy, capturing good behavior. I've taken you into starting working on stay. But I'm going to adjust what the puppy is doing. And honestly, I'm not telling them what to do right now because we're going to get behavior first and help them be successful before we, that's very nice, before we start adding the verbal cues. Okay. So I just verbally vomited all over you guys. Now what I want you to do is you're going to keep them on leash. You're just going to